Okay, thanks everybody for coming to this announcement of our new head baseball coach here at Saginaw Valley State University. For those of you who don't know, I'm Eric Brookhouse. I'm the Director of Athletic Communications, handle all the website, statistical, and dealings with the media and social media for our department. Just to kind of give you a little bit of a timeline, what we're going to do today, I'm going to invite our athletic director, John Decker, up here to do the official introduction of our new head coach, Steve Jaksa. And then Coach Jaxa is going to come up and make a few remarks. We will then field a few questions if anybody has any out there. And then we're also going to allow some time back against the media backdrop for some individual interviews if you would like. So right now I'll introduce John Decker to come to the podium.
Okay. All right, I feel better now. Well, thank you, Eric. And on behalf of the Saginaw Valley State University Department of Athletics, I want to welcome everyone. Thank you for being here this afternoon. This is an exciting time for us, and we also appreciate your support of Saginaw Valley State University Athletics. We found ourselves recently in the market for a new baseball coach to lead our baseball program, and I feel kind of lucky because I think the guy we found is going to do an outstanding job. Steve Jaksa has been successful at every phase of his career in baseball coaching. A lot of you may know that here in the Saginaw area, he led the Saginaw Nouvelle High School program for a few years and won a state championship, maybe more than one. But in any event, he's been successful at that level. He then went on to become a Division I head baseball coach, had a very successful career at Central Michigan University, and now he is coming in the next phase of his career to Saginaw Valley State University. Saginaw Valley, unlike Saginaw Nouvelle, which is a high school program, or Central Michigan, which is a Division I program, is in Division II of the National Collegiate Athletic Association. We like to look at that division as having a very healthy balance, if you will, of academic and athletic programs. And we think that we have hit a home run, so to speak, with Steve because he demonstrated during the interview process that academic performance of his student athletes is extremely important to him. It's as important to him as it is to us. And as I indicated earlier, I've already kind of given you an overview of his coaching prowess, so that needs no further comment at this point. So one of the things we did, and we conducted a national search. We had approximately 70 to 80 applications. We had a number of very good applications. And during that interview process, our selection committee asked Steve, we said, what sets you apart from the other fine people who've applied for this position? And he thought for a second, and he said, I don't think you'll find anyone who is more passionate about their job than I am. And I think that you will come to learn, if you follow Cardinal baseball in the future, that Steve really personifies that passion that we were looking for in the next leader of our baseball program. So I'm going to ask Steve to come to the podium and say a few words here, but again, we're very excited to have Steve Jaksa as our baseball coach at Saginaw Valley.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for attending today. I mean, I see another new face wandered in here. I hadn't seen quite some time. It's funny. I stopped down to say hi to Jim, and they said he was out to lunch, and I went to Joe and said, Joe, that's nothing new, right, Joe? We talked about that. So, but I tell you what, it's an extreme pleasure for me to be back home. I was here for 11 years with my wife and building our family at the beginning, but it's just a tremendous opportunity that John has given us and the committee, and I thank them very sincerely, and it means a lot to me to get this opportunity to come back home to a certain extent, and you don't always get that. And to build a new chapter, to have an opportunity to do something again that you love to do, and this is a passion of mine, and sometimes you get those things skewed a little bit, but at the same time you understand that hey, why you're here, what you're trying to accomplish, okay, and it won't happen all at once, but we do want it to happen soon. So for me, it's a new era for Cardinal baseball too. Not that the old era was bad. I'm not saying that. Things happen, and so you have to make adjustments. We have talked to numerous players. We're going to make some adjustments, and they're ready for those adjustments. They're excited about those adjustments. Some of my coaching staff is here. I hope they hang around, and so you can ask them some questions. I haven't finished my coaching staff. I'm trying to do a diligent process and finding just the right fits, for the staff, and so for us to move forward as quickly as we can. We have gotten 4 new commitments since the time I was given the okay, on August 3rd to go out there and find some guys. We got 4. We have a 5th one that's in the stable. We just got to keep them in there, and then I got to check and see how much money we got left. See if we can get anybody else. Might be running out, but it really is an exciting time. One thing that John alluded to was when you look at goals and you look at vision, you got to have a fit. It's just not for everything. John and I had several conversations, and all of a sudden you see that the goals of the university and the vision of the university was coinciding with what you wanted to accomplish, what you felt you wanted to do again, and make sure. Now, I was only out of it for 2 months, but it felt like 20 years, and so for me, that's what I was looking for, and there's going to be a commitment here, not only as John is now the full-time athletic director, who I think is going to do an outstanding job. And one of the reasons I was excited was because of his presence and because of his being able to take over the program and move from acting to becoming the athletic director, a man that I feel can lead. And President Bashan, who I have an opportunity to have met on several times, and I think he keeps hawking me a little bit because he tells me he's got 1 year eligibility left, And I just keep telling him when tryouts are, so we go back and forth on that. I don't think he wants tryouts. I think he wants a guaranteed roster spot. And being that he's president, he can have whatever he wants. So he can just come and do whatever he wants. But he was part of that excitement, in terms of, there's a commitment that they want to win. They want to win the right way. And the reason we're all employed is because of the student athlete. That's why we're here. It's the student athlete. We wouldn't, any of us, be employed without them. So they will be first. They will be first in what we try to accomplish, okay? So yes, they're student athletes, and so that means they're a student first. So we want them to be good in the classroom. And the guys that we have just signed are all very good students, very good, okay? I always got to be a little careful because I don't want to be too smart because then they outnumber me by far then, But at the same time, that's the kind of athlete we want to bring in, a student athlete, because long after they're done playing, they're going to need to work, okay? We've had guys go to the big leagues, but they're going to be done by 40. That's when they're going to be done. That's if they have a great career. So they're going to have to do something else. So we have to put the students first, and they're ready. They're ready to embark on this journey. And again, it's a journey that we'll do together. It's not going to be the coaching staff here and the players here. We're going to be in the scrum together, just like fighting hard, moving in the same direction, and trying to become the best team we can be. And that leads to a philosophy of what you're going to see. You're going to see a team that will be about the team. It will be team first. It'll be driven into them that they're going to care a lot about the person next to them, giving of themselves so that the person next to them can be successful. And figuring out that, building that culture, we hear that word all the time, but to build that culture, you have to get people to buy in. And there's levels of buying in. You buy in, everybody buys in. Every recruit we talk to this about, they all nod their head, they're going to buy in until it comes time to actually do it. And then they forget what that really means. So there's a realness to it. And that becomes real growth for the young person, real growth for the team. And then once they start doing that, now you got yourself a ball club. Now you got a group of guys that care, that will play the whole game, and it will mean so much to them, how they perform. And you don't even think so much about the wins and losses. They will take care of themselves. It's the character of that team that over a period of a season will win out. And that team then, at the end of the day, when the bats and the balls and everything's put away, the love that they have for one another, the caring that they have for another, then you see them grow as a person. And so whatever else you want, because only one team is going to win the national championship, but that team can be a special group of guys. And that's what we're shooting for. Guys that are going to be special. We want to be special on the field, and we want to be special off the field. Dr. Bashan couldn't make it, but my wife is here today. So the only thing that's more special than anything would be her, and I'm glad she could make it. And we're going to be celebrating number 34 this weekend, anniversary. That's a credit to her, so let's give her a round of applause. And ultimately, hey, we're going to build a solid foundation. We're going to look hard. You play for championships. So, yeah, we want to play for championships. Every group I had that came in at previous stints I've been at, we talk about playing for championships. That's why we don't need participation trophies. Everybody jokes about that. Hey, we want to play for championships. There should only be one team at the end of the year that wins. It's fine. That's the way it should be. And, there'll be heartbreak in that, but you know what? There's going to be a lot of joy on the path that we take to get there, and a lot that's going to mean a lot to a lot of people. And that means about how they are molded as young men. And what they will come back and tell you years later about what that experience has been. We want to give them a full experience. To do that, we have to work hard, within our staff, within our team, to develop this team. And then ultimately, for me, I'm going to continue with something that I'll finish this before we take questions, John and I'm a great believer in the Robert F. Kennedy quote, "Some people see things as they are and ask why. I see things that never were and ask why not." That's how I feel about this program. That's what we're going to shoot to accomplish, and that will be embedded in them. And with that, I'll take any questions you may have, or comments, or thoughts.
What's first on your agenda for the team?
First thing, well, I want to meet them all. That would be the first thing, okay? I have talked to every single one of them. We have texted and talked to them. I've had the opportunity. They have been very engaged. Every recruit that we brought in here, I asked for a tour guide. They volunteered to become a tour guide and help them, because I don't know campus that well. So they showed them around campus, and that gave me a feel for, hey, their engagement right from the get-go. So first thing we're going to do is, hey, we will put our staff together, and once the staff is together, then the players, we're going to hit the field. We will start on next Thursday, not next Thursday, the Thursday after that, the first allowable day we can start. I will probably be over here at physicals on the Monday night, the 27th, to make sure I meet them all, okay, and get to know them.
Coach, what are a couple of the main things that really attracted you about this program and this university and made it such an attractive job for you to pursue?
Eric, it's really interesting. It's the only job I applied for after I left the other place, and it was, and I told John that. I mean, Northwood was available. There was other places available, but this one seemed to fit for me. I had spent 11 years in the Saginaw area. I like the Great Lakes Bay area is a great area. I like it, you know, and our kids were young running around here, so that was just a lot of fun for us, you know, here. So we still have friends and relatives that are really near to us in that area. So for me, and then the last thing is, it's a beautiful campus. I think we have great facilities. I mean, great facilities. I mean, I've been to every place in this state. I mean, our facilities are great. And so that should have helped us attract people. We're right off the I-75. And so we just have to make sure people know who we are, open doors, get to the gatekeepers, make sure they recognize, you know, I've been at all those other levels. So we're going to stay after the student athletes that can help us win here and win in a bigger way maybe than they have been, but doing it the way I spoke about. So those are the things that attracted me right off the cuff.
Another thing, you've been highly successful at pretty much every stop, you know, coaching in the state, and then, you know, you could say, you know, throughout the Midwest, your ties are going to be pretty strong. So how do you see that translating into, you know, the future success of this program?
I'm hoping that I still carry a good name in most of those places, and but it's really important. I mean, as long as those coaches are out there, I mean, I just changed schools. That's it. Okay, my name is still good. I mean, I've been getting a lot of calls. I've been reaching out to people, telling them where I'm at, and the last two just said, hey, you know, I will send you anybody I have. Just stay in touch with me. So that's what you're talking about, because they're looking at the bases are 90 feet everywhere. Okay, and it's 60 foot 6 inches. So then it's going to be what do you have to offer them? I think we have a great university academically. I've learned a lot when I go over the admissions and learn a lot about what we have to offer, you know, as far as a degree. And then you look at the facilities. You know, yeah, do I want to do some things with those facilities? Sure, I have everywhere I've been, because I think that helps attract people, and you want to keep building with whatever you have to make it better, okay? I mean, everybody in the big leagues is building a new stadium, basically, okay? So I haven't talked to John, but we should build a new stadium, you know? I mean, you know, just break the news here, you know, but there's things that you can do to do that, to attract people. And you don't just attract them for baseball. I was talking to Angela today, you know, that things attract people to an institution. So the better our athletic program is totally, I'm just going to be a part of it. I'm just going to be a piece. I will support the others. Hopefully they'll support us, because that's a team. We got to be a team of coaches that are working together, because we want to have the best programs, okay, for this university, okay? And that's how I've always been, and that's what's just embedded in me, and I just want to do my part to do that.